what's up, friends? Let's talk about my favorite roller luggage. I am a minimalist traveler. I need something that can last a very long time. We're talking about the wheels, handles, the hinges, how it opens up, the polycarbonate if it's plastic, or the ballistic nylon or Hypalon, the materials on the outside, how it scuffs. I need something that can work well for me. That includes whether it's a four-wheel spinner like this or a two-wheel, maybe more durable, I don't know. But you operate it differently. How about some external access like water bottle pockets? It'll be fine. Like water bottle pockets or pockets on the outside. I also want it to feel good. Like this handle right here on this one feels really good. Which also has to do with like, how does it break in over time? What's it gonna look like later, right? That's what I call patina. This roller luggage like this is the kind of product to invest in. It's gonna last a while. It's something that you're gonna have a lot of memories with. Might as well do a little research to make sure it's something you could stick with for a while. And I would argue that it's not that bad to pay a little bit more if you know you're getting what you want. So let's do a deep dive into this. And the first thing that I want to show you, well, actually, this episode is brought to you by Bellroy. I have been waiting to open this thing up for so long. I got a new phone. Bellroy make my very favorite cases. See this little slit right here? It means this doesn't come off. I've got three cards that I can fit in here. I never have to lose this thing, even when I throw it in my pocket. This is just their cell phone case. They just make me happy. Here's my tech case that I use from them. This is actually a toiletry kit that I throw. This goes into every one of my bags. I got my spare hard drives, my power charger, my AirPods. I just zip this up with this nice metal kind of like, you know, metal zippers. I really like metal zippers. It just moves really smooth. This material, such a nice, crunchy, funky monkey kind of like durability to it. I'm serious about this case. It is by far and away my favorite way to roll with a phone case because when I'm traveling, I like everything with me. Show Bellroy some love. Click on the link, get a pouch, get a phone case, check out their backpacks. They make great stuff. All right, let's get into the very first, which is brand new. This is from Air. It has one specific feature that I want to call out here in a second, but the truth is, I just literally went on a trip with this roller luggage, and I used it like you would use it in an airport, right? Moving through airplane aisles, going all like having a layover, getting to a resort, and it works incredible, like you expect, like every luggage you've probably used before. They just came out with it. It splits into two. You've got this single cinch down over here. This has like a frame in it. That has felt good. Here's literally what I packed for a trip to Mexico. Some barefoot athletic shoes, some jammies and shorts, lots of shorts. I brought my Sonos Move, which is way overkill, but I knew I was gonna be listening to lots of music. And it came in handy. Lightweight little jacket, that came in handy. Some long sleeve merino, some barefoot sandals from Earth Runners, my toiletry kit. Just let me get everything out of here because I want to weigh this. A couple pairs of Western Rise Evolution, a couple hats, a long sleeve and some button-up shirts, little belt. You've got two buckets, 1, 2. You're gonna see a lot of luggage here that has this kind of setup. 2 equal size. That is something to consider. Sometimes it's nice when you have just one big bucket. I'll show you that on this one, right? You just have one big bucket, you fill it up to the top, and then you crunch it down. Something that is very noticeable on this bag is this ripstop nylon material that it's lined with. It just feels better. It feels better than maybe all of these I'm gonna show you. It's also Blue Sign certified material. You have a little bit of organization here, like this little small guy is sort of interesting. Some meshies. Another thing to notice is every one of these bags, I think except for one, has this big frame built into it. And this one, it's a little more pronounced, it feels like. There's padding behind it on the other side, giving it some protection. That may have something to do with the fact that they're using a triangular trolley system. Also, this zipper, there's something really special about this zipper. It is puncture resistant. That trolley system with the triangle, that's not a bad idea. All of these trolleys have a wiggle and a jiggle. Some have more jiggle than others. It's something that I like. I love and long for one that has zero jiggle at all. This one was surprisingly like, maybe it's slightly less. Suffice it to say, everything's gonna have a jiggle. You also have a very unique feature right here. This is locking these wheels. This is one of the challenge with a spinner. Spinner's amazing because you just push it. You don't have to pull it at all. You can just push it right in front of you, going down the airplane aisle. I love traveling with a spinner if I'm going roller luggage. It's great. The one challenge is if you're on an uneven surface, your luggage will just roll away from you. It just goes, right? I mean, you could set it on its side, you can put it on its face. This is the only thing I've seen on the market that has a lockable wheel. Speaking of the wheels, these are the Shimoda super metal ball bearing something, apparently the best of the best. You're gonna see a lot of wheels here that look just like these. I don't know if they're the same as all of these. They all look exact, like they have the same exact feel. This is the only one that has the locks. I would say I don't love these handles quite as much as I love a handle that really speaks to me, right? The good thing about this is this feels like this handle's gonna last 1 billion years. This whole thing does. This polycarbonate shell, you can already see lots of little scruffs and scraps. I love this little like gradient. Can you see this? This little gradient on the edge. It just has like a kind of a modern take. You can see how much reinforcement there is down here. When it comes to your roller luggage, depending on where you're traveling, the weight matters a lot. A lot of these bags we're gonna see are kind of heavy. This is about 8.5 pounds, 8.4 pounds, okay? That is right, like that's like right in the sweet spot. There's only a couple luggage that I'll show you here that are a little bit lighter than that. This is quite light and quite durable. It's brand new from Air. You've got the locking, I think all of these have like locking sort of TSA stuff. What I'm gonna do is go through a bunch of nooks and crannies of a bunch of these, try to keep it as quick as possible, give you some of the details, and then at the end I'm gonna tell you what I think. Now, this next one is probably one of my favorites in here by a long shot for a few reasons. It's also quite expensive. We're in like the $700 range. There's only one other luggage that I have here that's more expensive than that. Check this feature out, okay? It has this expansion. You can see this little bit around the edge here. Watch this. The whole bag expands, and then you have this compression built into it. Show you that. Again, with these wheels that look like the Shimoda style wheel, it's a great spinner. This one I haven't taken out and used a bunch yet. This one is highly recommended by some world traveler friends of mine. You've got a nice patina on this handle. This is gonna break in beautifully. This is the one that has the trolley on the outside. Cool little quick access, throw your phone and a battery right in here and have access to it on the go. The trolley is just the wiggle that you expect. Briggs & Riley do an amazing job. Like this handle feels solid, but nothing like really, it doesn't say too much. I'm kind of crazy about the fact that this is on the outside. I'll tell you why. First of all, we do have a quick access right here, which goes in just like about the size, a little bit bigger than a phone. And then if you wanted to, you could throw your laptop right here on the front of the bag. You can also customize this little leather bit right here. Other than that, side handle, little reinforcement bits on these edges, super nice all around. The cool thing about Briggs & Riley is they have a lifetime guarantee on their stuff, okay? So that's kind of nice. By kind of nice, I mean, yeah, if I'm gonna spend $700 on something, it'd be nice if I can, if something breaks down on it, they'll just send me a new one. Now this one comes in at 11.5 pounds, but it's a smaller size, so you're gonna be fine with international carry-on, okay? And I do gotta say that this is so nice inside of here. This is so nice. I don't know, is it just this metal bit? Is it the feeling of this material? Check this out. Open this thing up, and look, this is where you put a hanger with your shirts hanging down. You wrap them in like underneath this thing, and then it folds them with some padding right here, some thickness, so that they don't have a sharp fold in them. Just built in to the top of this thing. Just like, yeah, hey, we know you're gonna have some button-up shirts you need to put in the thing. That's pretty great. Some nice sort of you know, webbing type of pull things over. They have some packing cubes, which are fine. They're a little bit heavy. They do compress, and they feel kind of nice. If I was going like full Briggs Riley, might as well do that. But check this out. In here, you have, can you see this? Like there's a red thing on both sides. You pull that up. See that? And you get like, I mean, maybe 3.5, 4 inches of extra capacity. Pack your bag like this. Pack it like that. Fit everything that you need. Close this up. And then compress it down. Super solid, super robust. You don't have any of those feelings that like those teeth that are crunching down are gonna get faded over time. This thing's incredible. This just feels like such a solid freaking, if I was doing any business travel, I would be very interested in this. And if I was like, you know, if you're a little more sophisticated and you want that thing that like, this doesn't scream like I have a lot of technical features, and yet you get into it and it does. And it's delightful. Briggs & Riley Global 21. I'll link to everything below. And if you buy any of these, please use my link. This supports my channel. Let my kids eat some gluten-free crackers, you know? Put some food on my table. If you're already buying luggage. Okay, check this one out. This one comes in at $275. It's 10 pounds. It feels like it's exactly the same size as like the airbag that I did in the front. Okay, this is from Solgaard. We've got a spinner. Again, look at these wheels. They look familiar, very similar, but they don't have the lockability. You've got a briefcase handle over here and really nice clasp. Feels really good. Feels really good, the clasp. This, they say, is like polycarbonate, but it feels like metal in a weird way. And it has a metal reinforced corners all over the place. You can see I've used this. We've got this like this kind of scratchy patina. That stuff's gonna happen everywhere. Feet for the side that doesn't have the handle. You also have this little USB connector on the outside here. You could run a battery into that. This bag has a very interesting feature. Okay, first of all, I'm leaving this right here. I'm gonna undo this. This is our little, you know, just a clip that is always in the way when you're not using it. It's just like, when it's there, it's just like flops between the two sides. Like I wish there was a place just like that. See that? Just like that. I just wish there was a place for me to hide that inside of here when I'm not using it. You know, but it's nice because it keeps it open at 90-degree angle. Two sides. One side here, one side here. You do have some compression over here, little bits of pockets. Basically nothing special. This material is a recycled polyester, and it feels like it, right? Not my favorite inner material. You do have one little organized pouch over here, which is where you have that cable to plug in your battery thing. But this is what you're gonna love about this. This is what you're gonna love about this. This is what you pack into. I mean, arguably you could get this and put it into another bag. This is what you pack into, and then you compress everything up, you put it into here, all your shit's in here. I don't feel like this is very elegant. This I have to obviously unzip to get it around that thing and clomp it down, and then it fits perfect. I wish there was just like a way to roll this up. Here's another reason why I like to keep that like that. You open this up, you pull up your handle, okay? Handle is fine. Also, probably a little more jiggle than the others. I mean, it feels a little more jiggly, but if you were doing a comparison with all these, you wouldn't even notice, you know? It does have like a nice, like satisfying hold where my hand is actually touching it. This is what I'm getting at. Here is how you pack. Just like this, okay? And then you set up your freaking bag just like this in the corner of the room. You have access to everything. When it's time to go, you pack everything up. You put like, you know, 30 to 50% of your stuff. You don't pack all these all out, right? Otherwise you wouldn't be able to compress it enough. You throw that all down, you get it into the bag, and you close it up, right? Super fascinating, really innovative, simple, and a lot of people, I mean, you could just see how nice it would be to travel like that. Again, you just got all your stuff in there like this. This closes down. You give it a little shove. You got these great clasps with your TSA lock. This is $275. That's like one of the more affordable options out here. They're doing a good job. Highly recommend this from Solgaard. I personally have used this, and you just, again, like it's plastic, but it feels kind of like metal. It just feels solid. And for $275, you know you're gonna get a bunch of years out of it. Now, a personal favorite for me, the one that I've probably used more than any of these, is this Shimoda roller. Okay, this thing comes in about $300. You see that opening? You see that like doctor's bag opening? There's these huge metal stays right here. These great handles. I carry it like this often. Has an awesome trolley. Jiggle. A little more jiggle than the others. Doesn't stop me from using it, right? The trolley feels nice and secure, like this big, huge, thick plastic thing. 2 wheels, not 4, but the wheels are super chunky, super durable, and this is all super protected. Very hard back panel here. Couple other things that are absolutely lovely about this. These huge side pockets. You have one on either side. So you can throw things like, this is where my water bottle goes. You can see how we have this gusseting into here so it can fit some, it can expand to fit some shit. That on the outside of a roller luggage is pretty great. This is not a 4-wheel spinner. So you are like going down the center aisle of the airplane. I'm always dragging this, pushing this in front of me. All right? That's just par for the course. Another thing is this, like, I think it might be faux leather, it might be real leather, but I use that all the time, both sides. Then you just have this huge gaping maw. It's surprisingly easy to like crunch stuff down, and then huge number 10 zipper just over it. This thing comes in at 7 pounds, one of the lighter out here, which is crazy. It's soft and hard. This one I just like, just gets me, you know? Probably because I've used it so much. They make a bunch of camera cubes and stuff that fit inside of here. This is a camera bag company. I just love it. I'm always tucking this thing under here when I'm in transit mode. That's one of the bummers. I have used this a bunch. Highly recommend. I just love that doctor bag opening thing. All right, les pistes de resistance. This is more than $1,000 for a suitcase. What are you thinking? Well, I mean, that sound in and of itself is amazing. I mean, the jiggle and the rough toughness of that. Oh, yet refined. This is from Sterling Pacific. And every time I grab these handles, my my pelvic floor relaxes. Like I feel more, I just feel more. There's also leather on this handle trolley, and the way that this glides, very different than everything else in here, okay? Very little jiggle, still jiggle, very little jiggle. Extremely durable. Look at these reinforced bits all around the edges. This is a bigger, thicker aluminum. You can go on their website and see this whole thing is aluminum. So this is going to patina. This is going to get scratches and scrapes, and it is going to get, I mean, depending on how you think about these things, it's just going to get better and better over time. Like a pair of selvage denim. You're just going to like break it in over time. But you got to pay for that, you know? The good news is it's got a lifetime warranty. You open it up. Now, this is hinged right here with this solid metal hinge. You have one little nothing right here. Just like maybe throw something here. You know, this is the one place that I would say, hey, Sterling Pacific, let's get in touch and let me help you design what this inside could be like. That said, it is kind of Louis Vuitton. It does kind of feel good. You have these big straps that go over, which, again, I just love this, I just love this sound. Trolley system is going right through it. And a little more of this softer, like I said, a little Louis Vuitton in its aesthetic in here. It feels nice. When you're thinking about something that A, has a lifetime warranty, that B, is like possibly gonna like outlive you, this is their 2-wheel. There's talk about at some point them having a 4-wheel. The reason why they started with the 2-wheel is because this is so much more durable in their minds. They're making something that they're going to have to support for as long as the company's around. And the solid rod that goes through these 2 wheels, The ability to sort of change and fix things over time if you need to. But you're gonna pay for it. But you're gonna have it for the rest of your life. This is an artifact. This is an heirloom. So simple. It's a trunk. Bloop. One side. Just pack that up, go up to an inch or two above that side with packing cubes or your clothes just folded in, and then just smush that thing down, clasp it together. This one from Sterling Pacific is not in everybody's budget, but. Let's look at these two at the same time. Wandrd just released a roller luggage, okay? Both of these, this one's Nomatic. Both of them, like rigid plastic backing, 2 wheels. I've used this one a lot, never had any problems with these wheels. These look really fucking cool, like this big metal supporting sort of thing. Decent sort of webbing handles. Both of them have some organization on the front laptop compartment here, with this, which has a very solid back. That's important, because if you're gonna throw your laptop in here and then you're gonna put a bunch of clothes in there and you're gonna smush down, a lot of that pressure can go on the laptop. This is super protected, that feels good. RFID pocket, meshy, some organization bits. And there's capacity inside of here. I've always liked these zip pulls, these metal cables going around into this big plastic thing, but I just worry about this, like, I don't know, the hood part of this zipper getting a little big over time and having to like clamp that down so that this doesn't fall off and get lost in transit. This guy, you have 2 pockets on the front. One is just flat and big. One is cut in half. This is the same thing that's on their transit travel backpack. Hypalon material, like a rubberized material over here, which I just love. I mean, it's just super durable. This is a ballistic nylon, with this nice sort of faux suede almost. It's not suede, but then on this one you have a laptop compartment here on the back. Another decently rigid sort of like padded piece right here. And this goes all the way down. This is not pulled up off the bottom of the bag. So this is a very oversized laptop compartment. You could fit a big ass laptop in here. Zippers feel great to move. Big YKK number 10. This one does not have an expansion zipper on it. Look at this organization, by the way. They do a pretty good job of just giving you a couple places over here, and then in here you've got a solid like 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches. It's mostly one big bucket, but then you have not only the 1.5 inches of this compartment and then tech organization on the outside. These are both nice for that access on the outside. Some simple compression stuff in here, nothing much to write home about. You've got your trolley thing. On this Nomatic Navigator, you do have an expansion zip that goes all the way around and gives you another 2 inches about of space. You could pack it up and then try to zip it down. Big number 10 zipper around. That's kind of stiff to move for me still, even though I've used it quite a bit. Great inner liner. It feels interesting. It's just like somehow thicker. Very simple compression on this side, and very similar over here with 2 meshes and a bigger spot. This feels really good. This feels really good. This is the back of that laptop compartment, and it's really rigid. It has a lot of like, I don't know, it says life on the move. This feels really good. And this one has a very good top handle. I really like the top handle on this one compared to the Wandrd. It's just, what I mean by really good, like I would prefer the Sterling Pacific Uber leather, lasts for forever. This has a neoprene, chunky, soft, and it just feels good. You'd be surprised how often you're reaching for the handle to pick up and throw it onto the like tram that's taking you to the parking lot or to the airport from the parking lot, throwing it into the Uber. When you have a handle that just feels great right there, you got all your shit, it's kind of heavy, and you just grip it and rip it. This one feels solid, but it's thinner, and I want it to be thicker, personally. That said, I probably vibe with the aesthetics on this one a bit more, personally. All these zips over here, by the way, are lockable. These are lockable zips, meaning they'll lock together, and then they also have this like this interesting little ability to sync up with each other. Notice the metal reinforcement on the edges. So this guy is more expensive. If I was choosing between the two, this one's $80 more. In terms of weight, this is 7 pounds, and this is 8 pounds, okay? So this one's a little bit lighter. This is possibly where I personally would go between these two. These guys are great for tech organization. And they're cool companies. Both of them are cool companies. This one has a little bit of a sleeker, more grown-up look to me. And I've used this one. I've not used this one personally, but I'd be happy to. Speaking of other Nomatic ones, these I've had for a really long time, and I've used them quite a bit. They're solid. Also Nomatic. These ones coming in at 9 pounds, and I can't remember how much they are, 200 something. This one over here has a door on the front for a tech case, which, by the way, opens up so nice. Look at that. What the hell? There's a tech case that I mentioned before. It goes right in here. So this is designed, this is their Pro Traveler, Pro Carry-On Traveler, was designed for, you need your laptop, you need all your stuff, you're probably going into the office, wherever you're consulting or doing whatever with this thing, or this goes up in the hotel room, you just grab that case out of it. You don't want to carry a separate bag. It's kind of nice to be able to roll that smoothly. But for me, I'm like, where do I put my water bottle? So open up this one that doesn't have the tech case insert area. Bigger box over here than over here. This feels good. Meshies, some meshies here. Feels nice and organized. This is kind of over-engineered with this like magnetic, very interesting clip, this like magnetic clip, which you can sink down or cinch down. And you've got these two, this can come off if you don't want it. They just like throw themselves down on your stuff. This is an example of their garment bag, which has some organization and pocketing, a really surprisingly robust, like all directions kind of hook. They did a good job with this stuff. This stuff has been out for a few years. They did a great job with this. And I've used this bag several times. Again, these strange but cool like cinch clips over here. And now this one that has the tech case door on it, you just have a much smaller area on this side. Okay, very small, nice rigid panel here. This would be great for just keeping 1 or 2 or 3 of those button-up shirts up against there. And then you've got that same kind of, not very much space for clothing in this. This is really oriented towards a 1-night, 2-night kind of thing. Handles in here feel just like all these plastic handles. It's solid. It doesn't, the inside liner I like, but everything else just doesn't really speak to me too much. And I also do love this angle on the front. You'd be surprised how often that's just nice when you're putting something in the overhead and you just have some extra little, like, you know the thing's gonna close. This one's from Lojel, all right? Super interesting, small little roller. It feels great. Same kind of handle, same kind of locks, different shape on the trolley, but nothing to really write home about. It's smaller. And it has this really interesting way of getting into it. This is how you access this bag. There's a tech organizing kit right here. Throw your laptop in, have some, separate stuff if you want. But this is how you get into it. This does have a zipper that goes all the way around, but that's just for expansion. Okay? So this is interesting to me. You get a couple inches out of it. In use, you've got like 3 inches from here to where this goes that I'm not like able to see very well. I could picture just taking a packing cube and just fat right at the bottom of there and then just having like a whole line of packing cubes stacking in sort of vertically like this. Comes in at 7 pounds, same kind of handle. Trolley's pretty great. 4-wheel Hinomotos. Feels good. Feels good. At $330, that one comes in at right now. This is no longer available, but I have to show you it. It's like the first roller bag that I bought for myself when I was like, roller bag, like, let's go. This was 15 years ago, something like that. It still holds up so well. It's Eagle Creek. I highly recommend Eagle Creek stuff. I don't have any of their current stuff. I've always been trying to get them to work with me, but I don't get a lot of, they don't talk back to me. Look at this little expansion. Makes it the perfect size bag when you need it, but for the most part, I just use it like this. You got to be able to take your roller bag, I would argue, on international flights. So I go for the 21-inch on everything, 20 or 21-inch. 22, you're going to get stopped on some of these things, all right? So that's why I bring this out just at the end of this video just to say, maybe the best bag out there for you is the one you already have and just fucking get out there. Don't let your luggage keep you from going out. keep you from getting out there. That said, if you've done that a few times, you'll know what it's like to have something that you really like and that you really connect to. So, I've already told you how much I love this one. It's just so simple from Shimoda. It's just so simple. Big doctor bag opening. And I just fucking love the vibe. Pardon my French. So for $2.99, that comes in comparable, even discounted compared to lots of others. And I like this handle up front. Dude, I like it. But it's not a spinner. This Briggs Riley for $700 is really cool. I don't know how this ballistic nylon breaks down over time with the kind of travel I'm doing. If I'm going to Peru or Bali or something like that, first of all, I'm not going to be taking roller luggage. I'm going to be taking a travel backpack. Go to matterful.co/travelglad for my tips on traveling more gladly, for not getting locked and stuck up in some frustration while you're in transit. Just a little bit of forethought and thinking about things can help you just be so much more present when you're there. And there's some tips and tricks in there as well. This, though, this just feels fucking cool. Like part of me kind of wants to be this guy, you know? If I was travel guy, especially if I was businessy travel guy, I'd be way into this. This is where I'd be. Obviously, this is like fucking Indiana Jones, you know? Sterling Pacific, and again, you will feel this handle every time you pick it up. They really crushed this handle. The trolley feels great. This is forever. And it's like you're paying for forever. But it's like, good. Good, now you know. If I was just going for a lightweight spinner, I really do like this Air. What does it come in at, $300? This just feels good. It's got the locking, and I like the liner inside of here. I just felt like it was really fun. It was nice to travel with this, and then the lockability. By the way, speaking of Air, I did use their day bag. This is their Air Go bag. This is my ultimate sort of when I'm going to Mexico or something, sort of day bag. I'll link to that below. I'll link to everything below. I hope this was helpful. I hope you get out on the road and travel and feel your own body and your nature, just exploring the world, because you are nature, you know. A lot of people forget this just because we live, you know, inside these 90-degree angles and these air-conditioned rooms, right? We forget that. We are nature. You're nature, man. Get out there and feel the world. Like, get out there and see what it's like in other places. I think it's so underrated, the value of being in a different ecosystem for a little while. I'm not talking about being out on some trail out in the actual wilderness. I'm just talking about being in, like, whatever, Shanghai or Sydney or fucking Boulder or, you know, wherever you're going. Buenos Aires. You go to Buenos Aires, it's fucking great. And you breathe a different air. And then when you come back, something has shifted. You can see your own life in a different way. You can see your own ecosystem, your own environment in a different way. And that is fucking valuable, right? Matterful.co/travelglad for all your tips and trips on that. Thank you to Bellroy. I really am grateful to work with Bellroy as a sponsor on the channel. And I'm so glad. I was waiting to open this for this video. And it took me a while to get to it. My poor phone has got scratches and shit now. It'll be fine. Bye!